morning, YouTube. It is Sunday morning, overcast Sunday morning in San Diego County. I am driving up towards Julian today. We'll probably spend most of my day off-road, exploring some trails. A friend of mine that owns X-Grid Campers in Las Vegas is setting up an owners rally next weekend, and it's going to be held in the Anza Borrego State Park. So I thought it might be a good idea for me to go out this weekend and kind of do a trail reconnaissance, scout the trails that he plans to take his owners on. His shop sells exclusively off-road style trailers, and they are awesome, but they come in the, almost like a teardrop, very small size, up to the dual axle Australian models, that are over 5,000 pounds. So before we get 10 or 12 rigs with trailers in some trail and realize that it's not passable with a trailer, I thought it'd be prudent to go up and run these. So I've probably got 4 or 5 trails I want to run today. So it will be a very full day. I've got a full tank of gas, but it'll be nice. It's just, I'm alone today. It's a solo trip, nobody with me. And I'm in no hurry to get it done, so it should just be a fun day of doing some off-roading and some exploring, seeing some pretty scenery, and enjoying a good day. As I say, right now the weather is overcast in San Diego as I climb up this mountain towards Julian. I'm expecting it to be sunny, obviously, in the desert, and they're also calling for high winds. So, but that shouldn't be a real factor since I'm going to spend 90% of my time probably in the truck. My intent today is to cross over Oriflamme Canyon. That trail is actually just for me. I'm curious if my trailer, my little Mission Overland Summit, can run that trail. So I'm going to go up overland, come down by the S2, and then head out to the mud caves, go past the mud caves and that area, and then hopefully catch Diabo Drop. Go down Diabo Drop Off, go back out through Fish Creek Wash, Split Mountain, and then intend to head east, go all the way out to the 84, Highway 84 by the Salton Sea, and then run up north and then come back on Palm Canyon Trail, and then maybe head out to the Slot Canyon hike that's up in that area, and then eventually Fon't Point before looping back around to the town of Borrego Springs, where I'll probably dump off on fuel and then begin the trek home. So should be a full day, but I am definitely looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun. So every trip is its own adventure. It appears there is some construction going on Sunday on the 79 highway, and they've shut down one lane. So I'm waiting for the go here with a bunch of cars piling up. So hopefully it's not too long a delay, so we'll see what that happens. I will get up hopefully through Julian here before too long, and then touch base with everybody at the beginning of Oriflamme Canyon where I stop to air down and get that part going on. And we are rolling again, it appears. Yep, here we go. So we are moving again. I'm not sure the camera will pick this, but the top of Stonewall Peak, which is a really fun climb, by the way, if you're into hiking, it's really scenic. But the top of that is covered in clouds right now, and it's absolutely beautiful. Look pretty. Unfortunately, at this point now, it's blocked by trees, so you can't see it. Pretty serious construction going on here. I'm not exactly sure what's oh, maybe the creek had flooded or something, or was blocked. Pretty impressive road crew making this happen on a Sunday morning. Past that, and so now back on track to en route to Julian and then points beyond. So touch base with everybody once. So I am now about 4,880 feet above sea level, and getting very close to the cloud layer now. As you can see out in the distance, the mountaintops and the hilltops are completely covered. I think Julian may be high enough to where I'll be in the clouds for a bit. Very pretty up here. It's cooler. It's about 46 degrees outside, so gorgeous area, this part of San Diego County up towards Julian and Lake Cuyamaca. All right, so I have just come down Banner Grade on the 79 and have just exited the 79 onto dirt at the beginning of the trailhead. So I am going to set the GPSs and all my mapping software to map all the time and distance of these routes. But first I'm going to go on and air down the tires and start this adventure. Okay, we can watch our tires go down. I got one starting at about 24, so it's probably about right for that tire, so ready to go. Okay, I have got the tires are aired down now to about 25 psi, kind of enough just for gentle off-roading. I have reset computers and GPSs and everything to mark distances and time, and we will start this journey up Oriflamme Canyon and see what this would be like if I were to carry my Summit behind me, so if it's even doable or not. So it's a tight trail, but it's, if I remember it right, not necessarily too hard. So, although a little washed out right through here. It is windy outside, man. I was going to lose my hat just airing down the tires. Really, really windy day, but that's not unusual in the desert. So, all right, and up we begin to climb. So, promises to be a fun day. So this route will take me both through the state park and through BLM land. So it's important to remember the regulations and rules of each are very different. For example, there are parts in BLM where you are allowed to shoot weapons. Obviously in the state park you cannot have a firearm. The rules for fires, the rules for flying drones, everything is unique to whatever kind of area it's regulated by. So it's worth kind of doing your homework if you want to stay in compliance with the laws as much as possible. But yeah, this route will be partially on BLM and then in some state park area as well. And I think we'll cross through some private land. There's a mine up here that I believe is still privately owned that you could drive by, but you'd be trespassing to go in past the fence or anything where the mine is. We'll check all that out when we get up here. Well, so far this is very doable with our trailer. I am still in two-wheel drive and high range. Yet admittedly I've got a diesel and 37-inch tires, but this is very, very within the window of bringing my trailer. Here's the drawback of modern overlanding is it gets crowded on these trails. Surprised this many people out here, but how's it going, brother?
Nice week, boss.
Thank you as well. Appreciate it. Nothing like a popular day on the trails, right? Thanks, brother. Yeah. You guys have a great day.
Yeah.
Okay, this might be a pattern for the day here. It looks pretty crowded, so we'll see what goes on. So the group that caught up to and was following behind actually did a U-turn and have turned around. So at least for the moment, the trail is mine again alone. So kind of entering this mine, old abandoned mine area now, which is really kind of cool. A lot of history here. Unfortunately, since I'm just scouting a trail, I won't stop and spend a whole lot of time, but there's a lot of fun stuff to see and do out in this area. Really nice. Hard to believe in just a few miles I will be in open desert. Through here it is very dense with vegetation, muddy, tight, lots of foliage, and literally within a couple miles this is going to open up on a shelf that just looks down into the desert. It's a fun drive. So we are at the border now. We are leaving the Cleveland National Forest and entering California State Park property, Anza Borrego. So leaving BLM and are now in State Park property. All right, so we've summited about 41, we got up to about 4,100 feet above sea level. And again, not less than 2 miles from where I was just filming. You can see now it is again scrub brush desert. So we will start the descent down the canyon, Oriflamme Canyon, which is, if I recall, it's been years since I've been out here, but I remember it being really impressive. Really cool shelf roads. So we'll see if my memory serves me correct. This is the entrance into the canyon itself. I do remember some of this. That's funny. I remember this little rock drop. Alright, so just to save my brakes, I'm going to go on and get into low range here just to kind of creep down this and continue on. There we go. Views are really impressive. Very scenic. Yeah, I think I can do this. No, maybe not. This thing does not turn that tight, so. Alright, so this will require a little bit of backing with the trailer. But not much, so with that 360 hitch it would work okay with that. Alright, too bad it is so windy. I would love to have gotten the drone up and out for this descent, but I'm afraid with the gust I might not ever see it again. So HUD camera will have to do. You're getting closer to the bottom here. There's a creek that I think runs year-round. You can tell how green the foliage is at the bottom of this canyon, which is nice. So it's getting a little rocky through here, but still not too bad. My biggest fear on this trail, honestly, is especially pulling a trailer, would be meeting someone going the other way. So there are not a lot of places to pass one another, especially pulling a trailer. Stretch the suspension a little bit. Very nice, and I think I'm over the worst of it now. It starts to smooth out down here as we get to the bottom of the canyon. A few more little rock doohickeys here. Very nice. So I made it down off the canyon, and I'm now back towards the desert floor, and there's a cool little campsite down here right along the creek bed at the bottom of this canyon that I've been coming to for over 20 years, and I thought, this would be a good spot to stop and have lunch. Unfortunately, someone's camping there, so I didn't want to interrupt them, so I have made a U-turn, and I'll find another nice place to stop and have lunch. Not like there's a shortage of them, so beautiful drive. All right, so I finished the Oriflamme Canyon. I am out on the S2 right now, so I'm going to save this route and everything. Hit pavement for a couple miles, work my way over to Blair Valley, and then part 2 of today we'll do the Blair Valley loop, looking for places big enough to camp for 10 or 12 vehicles plus trailers. So we will see. All right, so I finished doing the Blair Valley loop and got that knocked out. Found some potential campsites for a large group. And I made my way down the S2, and I'm now in Vallecito Wash. I'm getting ready to link in with Arroyo Tapiado, go past the mud caves, and then work my way over to Diabo Drop Off. So I'm going to air down the tires again because it's incredibly rutted, washboardy on this sand here. So we'll get that going, and then we'll be on our way. So after nearly 30 minutes of having my fillings rattled loose on washboard, finally starting to enter into the canyons of Arroyo Tapiado, where the mud caves are. Kind of an area like the Badlands. It's pretty desolate out here, very moon-like scape, but really beautiful in its own way. And the mud caves are certainly worth seeing. I don't necessarily advocate going in them. That's a personal choice. I've been in them before, but they literally are made of dried mud. So they collapse regularly, frequently, and could be very dangerous. But they are still quite fun to see. So you can see here that obviously cliff drops and rock falls are not uncommon. So that's why I say to use caution if you decide to go into the caves. Yeah, and as you can see, it's pretty popular out here. I just drove past the parking lot for kind of one of the primary caves out here. And a lot of people don't go past that. Some do. It gets a little more tight as you get farther in here, but if I recall, this isn't anything too difficult at any point. All right, we're coming up on another cave that you can see from the road here. This doesn't go in very deep, but if the camera can pick that up there to the right, you can crawl in through there and go back a little bit of a ways. Okay, so this is the turn to get off of the wash and get up to Diabo Drop. Get off Oriflamme Canyon to Diabo Drop. All right, it's about 3:30 in the afternoon, and I am pulling into the infamous Diabo Drop Off. So it's been a while since I've been out here. Did a little exploring, got to check everything out, but here we are. I think this is going to be a nice spot to have some lunch. I think there's a really pretty viewpoint up here right by the drop. That's a nice place to kind of sit and have lunch. Albeit it's windy, but we'll make the best of it. Diabo Drop Off is interesting because you're just driving along on this nice flat desert plain, and then all of a sudden you just come out on this precipice of a ledge, and that's it. It drops down into the valley below. So let's see if I can get up here a little bit, take a view. As you can see, it's a significant drop going down this thing. So, and here we are. So we're going to end up down there. So that is the famous Diabo Drop Off. Okay, so this is the infamous Diabo Drop Off. Here we go. We'll see if the camera does this justice or not, but it doesn't look too bad. Famous last words, right? Here we go. I admit I took one of the more aggressive lines through here. This rock out. We're at about 19 degrees. All right, I didn't even hit the bumper on that. That's cool. Okay, not too bad. Really pretty simple. The rest of this is pretty benign. Alright, so that was Diabo Drop Off. The canyon at the bottom of Diabo Drop Off is probably a little more challenging. It's extremely tight. I just ran into a couple of wranglers and we had a hard time getting by each other. It should dump out into Fish Creek Wash though before too much longer, and then it opens up considerably. And I think that's the end of the tight stuff. Yeah, I think it'll open up here right in the Fish Creek Wash. Fun drive. All right, we are back in Fish Creek Wash, and it is fairly benign from here on out. We'll head out by the wind caves and a couple of sightseeing, and then catch the 78 and work our way over to the Salton Sea. That's part of this whole thing. So, really fun day. It's cool to make that loop, though. I haven't done that in a long time, so it's nice to remember how it all worked. So the wind has been a real bear today. It is probably gusted around 30 or 40 miles an hour, so I couldn't stop on the top of the plateau before Diabo Drop Off to grab lunch. It was just too windy to eat. So I'm down back in Fish Creek Wash, and I found a little cove here. It's still windy, but at least it's still enough. I think I can get a break from the wind to get in the shade and enjoy a very late lunch. It's like 4 o'clock, so. But man, this has been a fun day. This is good to get out and explore all this stuff. Yeah, there you go. I'm sure you can hear the wind. It's not messing around. So I may use the truck or something as a. Maybe just sit right here. Got a nice little spot on the ledge. Yeah, I can. Yeah, this works. I just eat off the tailgate. It's pretty nice. When the truck breaks up the wind enough to, my food won't blow out of my hands. The lunch is really good. It's really nice, even with the wind out here. Still very peaceful. Saw a couple of groups go by, but only 2. Still pretty peaceful, other than the wind. Still, so good day. We're entering into Split Mountain now, one of the most majestic areas of Anza Borrego State Park. It's just mind-blowing. The sandstone coming right out of the desert floor, and rising up hundreds of feet in the air. There's nothing quite like this. I feel like I want another planet every time I come through here. This just really does not disappoint. Absolutely majestic from every angle. This is Split Mountain. Caught up with a four-wheeling group again, kind of near the mouth of Split Mountain. I've run across them several times today on different trails. They've been kind of doing the same thing I've been doing. There's some long-range exploring back here, so. Okay, so here's the primitive campground that's right at the entrance of Split Mountain. So just wanted everybody to get a chance to see this. It would be an option for a big group camp. Obviously, even tonight it's got people in it, Sunday evening. But there's a few spots, so it is an option. Many campsites there are. They're all toilets. But a couple of these on the backside aren't bad. So. Not my first choice for camping, but you got nothing else. I think the sandy part is really, hasn't got real windy yet. Maybe the later in the day it gets, the windier it gets. This is the kind of wind where it's just not fun to camp. All right, it is almost 6 p.m. and I am dropping into Palm Wash off the Highway 84 to my right and going into the wash here. So we're going to follow the wash along, and it should eventually drop us out on the S22. And from there, we head to Slot Canyon and finally Fon't Point. Hopefully by the time that's right for sunset. This is Fon't Wash, or I'm sorry, Palm Wash. And here we are at the entrance of the Slot Canyon. Very cool. And as far as parking, okay, I'm getting close to Fon't Point. It's about 6:57 at night. I should be there in another few minutes. Trail's actually pretty smooth compared to a lot of the stuff I've been on today. Really not too bad. A lot of cars coming down. I guess the peak of the sunset is done, so I passed probably more cars on this 4 miles than I passed all day, off-road anyway. That's pretty against the sunset, but it should be really nice when I get up there. All right, coming up to the overlook on Fon't Point. And get a look at this. Look at this. I'm a little nervous if it's going to blow me off at this thing. It's significant, but it this spectacular. This is Fon't Point. Overlooking the Anza Borrego Badlands. Okay, seriously, I feel like Okay, it's a little after 7, and all tasks and goals that I've sought to do today have been accomplished. I am at Fon't Point, and it's windy but beautiful. The way the clouds or the dust has blown up have really made the Badlands spectacular. So a lot of color in the sunset out here too. So really pretty. So that's it. All goals accomplished, and now I started making my way back home. So should get me home by around 9 o'clock. So it's been a great day. A little misting as we head up back into the mountains of Julian. There's some storm clouds over the mountaintop, so this might be what's left over of that. Okay, it's kind of legitimately raining now. So different than what I was experiencing just an hour ago with 40 and 50 mile an hour desert winds. Now I'm getting a mountain rain. Temperatures dropped down. It's about 46 outside now, so it's cooling off as I climb. Alright, got some fog action now, so we're getting closer into Julian. A little bit of everything on this ride home. Okay, it's like a heavy fog now. You can see from the bright lights the difference. Glad I put those Baja Design fog lights on here. They kind of cut through a little bit. Better than nothing. So I really can't see too far in front of me. Well, this is going to be a long, slow drive home. Fog this thick. I'm assuming once I come down off the mountain it'll go away, but man, we are in the thick of it. Okay, it's just getting worse. I'm getting close to the lake, so I guess the fog is coming up off the water, but this is really thick. So I really thought I would be out of this by the time I hit the Interstate 8 freeway, but I am not. It's not as foggy as it was, but still some rain and some fog in spots, so it's kind of slow going, even on the freeway. Okay, at about 2,000 feet it cleared out. It's almost stopped raining and the fog is gone, so we're back up to speed, heading home. And just like that, I'm back in the city. I'm already missing being out in the mountains and out in the desert. Well, I just pulled in. I am home. It was quite a day. I logged 337 miles today, and at least 70, maybe 80 miles of that was dirt. So got to give a shout out to this Jeep, man. It did everything perfectly. Cruising along the highway at 75, rock crawling through those canyons, getting through rain, getting through fog. It just purred like a kitten all day. So great piece of gear. And on that 337 miles, I haven't added any fuel. I'm still on my one tank of gas. I've got about 20 miles left, but I made all of that averaging about 20.2 miles a gallon with this diesel. So Got nothing negative to say about Jeep. Definitely is a good product. So, fun day. Look forward to doing this next weekend with a big group. Should be a lot of fun. So, thanks for watching.